Hello everybody, it's me, Chris Pritchard, here at Warwick Racecourse, bringing you some exclusive content for the channel, the Chris Pritchard Cycling News Show, Tour of Britain, Stage 6 Fun Special. Peace! Alright, and the first story I want to cover today is something I should have mentioned yesterday because it's all been done now, but I'm going to touch on it anyway because it was unbelievable. Stage 17 of La Vuelta was the fastest ever stage of any Grand Tour. And because it's the highest ever average speed officially recorded for a professional rider over 200 kilometers, Philip Gilbert wins a prize I didn't even know existed. So Philip Gilbert has won the Ruben Janue prize. It was created by Tour de France organizer Henri Desgrange in 1936 for the highest speed for a race exceeding 200 kilometers an hour. Supposedly the inspiration was taken from the Atlantic Ocean crossings, I don't know, but he decided to give this prize out, and I've never heard of it until I saw it given to old Phil Gilles. Even when Matteo Trentin had won it back in 2015, he took it after winning the 231 kilometer Paris Tours in 2015 in a time of 4 hours, 39 minutes and 12 seconds, which was an average speed then of 49.64 kilometers an hour. It was pretty much the talk of the whole professional peloton afterwards, just how fast that stage was. They even had to bring TV coverage forward 30 minutes to make sure they could actually show some stuff to viewers that were expecting a race. And don't forget, this was a transition stage, a relatively flat stage. It was one for the sprinters. It was going to be one of those long, slow days where essentially the GC riders get another day off. They take it nice and easy, get the legs back up to speed before they hit the mountains again, and a breakaway can go and get some glory, or the sprinters will take it. But then afterwards, the whole talk of the race was just how fast it was, and all the riders were taking to Twitter, posting their Strava, heading to Instagram just to show how fast this day was. Check out this from Owain Dole. Alright, but stats from today. 9k neutralised included. And before you say it, Owain Dole's Welsh, not Indian. I already know this. And there you can see from his stats, pretty much everything's average there, apart from the speed, 48.2 kilometers, which he said included that 9 kilometers of relatively slow neutralised. Next story I wanted to touch on is this. We're going to cover this more in the World's Preview next week. However, I just wanted to touch the following week. However, I just want to touch on the fact that British Cycling have just announced their multi-gendered, dual-gendered, mixed-gendered, mixed relay time trial team. This replaces the old team time trial where the trade teams will go head-to-head and battle it out for world championship supremacy in the time trial. This is brand new. I mean, it has been done before. We saw it at the European Championships. I think we've seen it somewhere in one of the African races quite a while ago. But this is it. Essentially, in terms of like mainstream, this is the first time we're going to see this. What's your views on it? Leave them down below, because I don't want this to be the talking point when we come to the previews, although it will be a subcategory of it. Now with this story, I just want to focus on two of the riders that are there really, John Archibald and Dan Bingham. Like, these two boys are almost out of the BC bubble. You know, they're riding for their own trade team, Who What Bike. They're doing amazing things on the track. They're soon to break world records in probably the team pursuit, the individual pursuit. John Archibald's going to smash that eventually, and probably take on the hour record and eventually smash that. These boys are the real deal. But they've been out of the BC bubble, and it looks like they're never going to actually get in there other than for this opportunity here. Now, I want to know what you think to these guys coming in, because when you think of BC time trialers, obviously you're thinking of Harry Tanfield, but you've got Alex Dowsett in there as well. Dowsett's probably going for his solo glory in the individual time trial, which allows, I guess, a couple of places to open up on this mixed relay team. But what do you think, Dan Bingham and John Archibald being in that team? Leave your comments down below. I think we've talked about this and touched on it briefly back when it was the European Championships, but this is the World Championships now. We're getting ready for the first ever mixed relay time trial. And I just want to know what you think to it. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Would you rather see trade teams coming back? Would you rather see, because what we're seeing now is trade teams having both male and female teams, would you rather see a mixed relay based around trade teams, or do you not just give a monkeys? But leave them down below. All right, you lot, it is time to announce the winner of this. I mean, this one's mine, so this is going nowhere, but Muck Off are giving away a ultimate bike cleaner kit to one of you lucky swines. So if you were part of the video 2 days ago, you left a message, you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button, there's a chance right now that you could be winning that. It goes worldwide as well. It doesn't matter if you live in Bolivia or Saudi Arabia, maybe, I don't know. Australia, fine. South Africa, fine. Italy, fine. Muy bien, muy bien. Spain, muy bien. Alright, so here we are once again in the greatest website ever designed, the YouTube Random Comment Picker. And we're going to paste the URL of that into there. We're going to get those YouTube comments. Fingers crossed, everybody. Best of luck. 193 people entered. Well done, you lot. Thank you so much. Right then. I don't need to worry about that. Whew. Are you ready? I'm getting a bit nervous, actually. Whether the comment's positive or not, unless it's derogatory in any way, then you will be winning the prize, okay? Here we go. Good luck, everybody. Your time begins now. Eesh. Picking the names, picking the names, picking the names. And your winner for today, the Muck Off Ultimate Bike Cleaner Kit, is Sammy Knockout. He simply said great. There was an actual decent comment in there about Rowan Dennis. However, the ending was very positive. Great show, Pritch. Sammy, you are the winner. Right, make sure you get in touch because this shows your loyalty to me. If you don't get in touch within the next 5 days, I'll run this competition again and give it to someone who actually comes in and watches the channel on a regular basis. If you don't, you don't belong here, sunshine. Do one. And he's not going to win it because he's not even watching this, so I'm just talking to myself there. Sammy, congratulations. You're now a proud owner of a Muck Off Ultimate Bike Cleaner Kit. I expect to see photos of this on Instagram with your boy tagged in them, and then a video of you cleaning your bike. Well done, Sammy. Next up, and it's time to catch up with all the racing news from today. La Vuelta is currently going on. There is still 12.9 kilometers to go. That's never Phil Gilbert out front on his own, smashing it to pieces. Could be, I don't know. Currently 3 groups. One guy out front, followed by a chasing group, followed by the peloton at 1:14 behind, 12.7 kilometers to go. That is going to come down to a sprint finish. I will give you that result as soon as it comes in. However, there was a little bit of drama, but then it ended up being nothing. Originally, it looked like Roglic had actually got caught out in some crosswinds and he'd got dropped. Movistar put the hammer down on the front. Turns out he'd actually been caught up in a bit of a crash. The weather's not been great out there in Spain, down on a greasy road, and ultimately he came down. Movistar made it to the front and decided to start smashing it to pieces because originally they thought he got caught out in the crosswind. When it comes to getting dropped in the crosswinds, if you get dropped in the crosswinds, tough. That's the way the cookie crumbles. However, if you get caught up in a crash, wasn't necessarily your fault and you are back up on the bike, then there's the gentleman's agreement where everybody stops riding and allows you to get back on. No one should ever profit from somebody else's misfortune when it comes to racing, and that's one of the beautiful, beautiful nuances when it comes to cycling. Alejandro Valverde got to the front of the group and he went, "Oi boys, old Primo back there, he's been dropped. He got crashed, didn't he? So we're going to wait for him, and then when he's back, we'll crack on with racing." Everybody all right with that? Good, yeah. But in terms of the Tour of Britain, what a cracking stage. I was there at the start in Warwick. Obviously, you saw that from the VT back at the start. So why don't we just head over there now and find out if the rider's knowledge on Yorkshire has got any better today. Jack Bauer, ex-teammate.
That's right.
Old school.
Good memory.
Yeah, and Jack's career obviously went tits up after we were teammates. Mine obviously flourished. And you, what are you doing now?
I'm still trying to make a buck, you know.
Gabs Coulet, legendary cyclist, movie star for next year. You excited about that?
Right, very much so. Learning my Spanish and that. You just see me on you?
Yeah. Can we just have some Spanish out of you, please?
No.
Joey Walker, national criterium champion. Ben Swiffer back for round 2. Everybody seemed to love your answers to my Yorkshire quiz, so we're going for part 2, all right?
Go for it.
James Shaw, international man of Visery. All right, guys, I can't get away with that. Clearly, I've had a bit of an issue here. Being a one-man band, right? Sometimes I don't know if the microphone's actually working or not because I can't see any. Well, I just can't tell unless I'm stood behind the camera, to be honest. And obviously, you want me in front of the camera, so I can't be behind and in front. And I've only got one pair of hands. All right. So I didn't realise that the microphone jack had just popped out ever so slightly enough to stop the microphone from working. So this whole part of James Shaw's interview is an absolute wreck. James Shaw, I apologise. I know you wanted to be part of this amazing cycling news show, but we're going to have to scrub your piece. Let's carry on with the show.
Don Valley Stadium.
Sheffield Olympic Stadium. I'm just saying Sheffield.
It's Don Valley.
Don Valley, oh yeah, of course.
Sheffield United.
Oh my God. Right, that's it, it's over.
Don Valley Stadium.
It was Don Valley, yeah, you're right.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, Don Valley Stadium.
Well, you said Sheffield United
Yeah,
first.
but you crop it out.
I could crop it out, yeah.
It just said, it's because it says Sheffield, so I thought Sheffield United. Anyway, Don Valley.
Ooh, does it say Sheffield?
Yeah. You get half a point for that.
Deaf Leopard?
Is that the only thing you know from Sheffield?
Are you wanting me to say what I associate with it?
Well, no, I want you to tell me what that is.
Oh, to identify it?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's a football pitch.
No, it's Don Valley.
Wensleydale.
Just cheddar cheese.
No.
It's got to be cheese. It's got to be some sort of old cheddar cheese.
Wensleydale.
Butter.
It's cheese.
Is it?
Ben Trippier. Not Ben Trippier. Kieran Trippier.
Close, but no.
Oh.
Your brother?
Oh, thanks, mate.
With a bit of tan?
No?
I haven't got a clue about football, sorry, man.
Kyle Walker.
Not a clue. I don't know football people.
Kyle Walker.
All right.
I mean,
it
was only one of the biggest footballers last year in the World Cup. But yeah, hey,
I don't know.
Kyle Walker.
Footballer.
Summit B. Cardiff. No.
No.
Wild Spice.
That sounds like a
What's the name?
that sounds like a man's
Mel B.
perfume. Mel B.
Mel B.
A very well-endowed woman.
Mel B.
Yes.
Carly B.
No. What band was she in?
I don't know. Spice Girls, but
Scary Spice.
Summit B.
Well, yeah. You
Yeah.
get half a point for B. Mel B.
Mel B. That's it.
That's Mel. Wow, she looks better
That's
now
Mel.
than she did back then.
You're talking like you know her.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's scary. No?
Yeah, Scary Spice.
Not scary at all.
Oh, the Blades.
That's Sheffield United. Blades, yeah.
Blades. Says it in the stands.
Hallowell stand Blades.
Sheffield United. I can't believe I've stood out here for 20 minutes waiting for
Again, Sheffield. Def
right.
Leppard.
you. Def Leppard, that's it.
That's all I've got.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
No?
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Obviously the Big Ben. Yeah.
Who is it?
Was it his actual name? Guy Fawkes? I guess it was.
Yeah,
right.
Guy Fawkes.
Not the foggiest.
What happens on November the 5th?
Bonfire night?
Yeah, well
Guy
done.
Fawkes.
Well done.
Someone robbing some barrel. That Guy Fawkes guy. My birthday.
Edward. Clancy.
Clancy.
Big Ed.
That really good guy on a motorbike.
Wow.
Ed the Red Clancy.
He's not that good.
Yorkshire Puds.
Yorkshire puddings.
Yorkshire Puds.
Some sort of pudding? No, a pie? A base of a
What
pie?
kind of pudding though? What are we testing you on? What kind of knowledge? Come on.
It's got some meat in it?
What kind of test? Where are the worlds?
That's a Yorkshire pudding.
Exactly.
So it's a sweet or a savoury
It's a
thing?
savoury.
Okay.
Joey, you just about passed the Yorkshire test. Well done.
Cheers.
You've just about passed the Yorkshire test.
He's from Yorkshire, is he?
Yeah, you're allowed to enter Yorkshire. Nothing more to say.
Yeah.
Gabs, well done.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. No, thank you.
Thank you.
No. Thank you.
Anyway, let's talk about the racing. The racing took a very similar route as the Women's Tour of Britain took when I went there 3 months ago, something like that. And the finish was on Burton Dasset National Park. It was up a big hill. Well, it wasn't a big hill. It was around 700 metres, something like that. But it could have caused a few issues. Unfortunately, it didn't. Two riders spent the majority of the day out in a break. It was Dylan van Baal for Team Ineos and Cameron Mayer for Mitchelton Scott. They got a couple of minutes up the road, but it was never anything that was ever going to stay away, and eventually they got caught Got a bit exciting towards the end when they went up the climb for the second time. Ben Swift put a big attack in at the front. He started stretching out that peloton. There was a big peloton still, to be fair, with only 20 kilometers to go. However, he tried to stretch it out as much as he could, which then set up Pavel Sivakov to go on the attack. Sivakov went up the road on his own and Mathieu van der Poel had to chase him down. In doing so, he brought the rest of the peloton with him, and then Gianni Moscon went over the top, and then he got a decent gap on them. And again, Mathieu van der Poel was hoping, he didn't have any teammates, so he was hoping the other teams were going to work to bring him back. Eventually he got brought back by a small group, and then in that group again was Ben Swift, and he was looking on good form. I feel that he might have burned 1 or 2 matches more than he probably should have coming into that finish with a small group like that. And the group did get 15 seconds up the road, and it looked like potentially they might stay away, especially if no one was going to help Mathieu van der Poel or Matteo Trentin bring that back. However, they pretty much did it all on their own, and coming into the bottom of the climb, it was like someone had shoved a rocket up the rear end of Mathieu van der Poel, lit it, walked away, and then just watched him go, because he came through that little group right at the bottom of that hill, right at the bottom. Ben tried to have a go. He was followed by the Norwegian national champion. I can't remember his name right now, but then they were going up the road and we were like, yeah, this is it. Come on, let's go. This is going to be it. It's going to win from a break. And then them two just went straight through him, and it was just a race between Trentin and that other one who's right good, Mathieu van der Poel. And to be fair, look, in hindsight, with about 400 metres to go, Mathieu van der Poel made the initial attack. Trentin got on the back of him, but then Trentin looked like 3 or 4 more pedals and he'd have come alongside him and potentially just got in front of him. But he decided to sit down and just try and recover, which, looking back at it now, it's probably the worst thing to do, because then van der Poel got on the drops and then he just accelerated into a bit of a sprint when it levelled off. And I think Trentin was hoping that his sprint was going to be a little bit better there. However, it wasn't. Mathieu van der Poel took the win, and it's looking likely that he's going to take that green jersey all the way to Manchester now. Well, he's going to take it to Manchester. Whether he's got that green jersey on his back come the finish line at Manchester, that's another story, but he'll definitely take it into Manchester. 6.7k to go at La Vuelta. Join me in 3 seconds where I'll tell you the result. Remy Cavagna took the victory in La Vuelta stage 19 today. How? I don't know. He was amazing. If you've not seen the highlights, go and watch him. I'm not going to fill you in with all the race analysis because we've gone on far too long with the Tour of Britain. I apologise, other than to say, great stage by Remy Cavagna. Surprised he got caught. Cracking ride. Go and watch the highlights. And we'll wrap the show up there. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great weekend. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you've not enjoyed it for whatever reason, hit that dislike button and let me know why. I'll try and do better next time. Until Monday. Oh, did you hear that?